So I've been watching YouTube lately, and every single time I get on, almost every single time, like if I transfer or if I move from watching Cyberpunk on Twitch, or if I look at anything from Cyberpunk, right, I see Cyberpunk edgerunners, and everyone swears up and down that I see get posted on my YouTube page. They love this show to death, right? I don't vibe with it. I never vibed with it. It looked weird, but I had this bad gut feeling, right? Like I shouldn't judge it until I see it myself. But I had kind of like a deeper feeling that said like, nah, man, it's gonna be bad. And I watched all 10 episodes. I gotta say, like some parts they were all right. The music was kicking, but the story was, in my opinion, right? I hated it. I hated the story. I hated the mechanics. I hated any sort of plot. I hated it, bro. Like there were some really good moments, but mostly this was just like one of those rides that just like was slow and torturing me, dude. I'm so glad it's only 10 episodes because good lord, it made absolutely no sense. And I wanted to give it a doubt. I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt. I was like, maybe I'm just full of myself. Maybe I'm just like I'm on some crack and I don't understand like what's going on. Actually, maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe I don't have the brain cells to actually watch this show, and maybe I'm my opinions is fucking trash. So that's why I ended up watching it. And I gotta admit, I should have stuck with my gut feeling. I'm glad I watched it just simply because like I need to have an opinion, and to have an opinion, I need to see what I'm talking about and to understand what I'm talking about, see what I'm talking about. I need to watch the show so I could like if anybody brings up any arguments, I could be like, well, this happened, well, this happened. So I made a video basically ranting on through clips and stuff I found that were issues with the story, issues with the character, it just so many issues. And I'm just gonna do one for the first episode. If you guys like it and want more, I'll do another episode. But so far, it's just gonna be this first episode, and this really comes out from like me searching like Cyberpunk Edge Runner sucks, right? Like I looked it up on YouTube, and it's just these people like talking for hours and hours on end, and just critiquing it in not the way I wanted it to be done. I wanted this like dissected to get it deep into it and get down and dirty. You know what I'm saying? And to just give me like the gist, like oh yeah, what is it about? So I'm gonna get to the gist of it. I said, and here I am. Here's my video, and I hope you enjoy it, or don't. I don't give a shit.
Looking to get shot? Got us a cyber psycho!
So right off the bat, I want to ask. First of all, how does he have mantis blades in his kneecaps? Because I totally want that. That's freaking cool. And secondly, what was that police officer's plan? Like, run in with your pistol, low caliber probably, right? Literally bullets deflecting off this guy, and you just decide to run in, and of course, we see what happens. Dude gets like shredded in half. I'm already seeing a huge lingering issue with this, but let's keep this moving.
Get to it!
So I'm just wondering if you picked up on that. This man was getting shot all over the place. No blood, no synthetic blood, by the way. And puts to the ground, takes out two pistols, the same pistols he was using to destroy basically all the rest of the police. And just because these guys have some special hardware or helmets made out of some bulletproof magic fiber stuff, right? They take no damage, even though their face, by the way, is wide open. Wide open face, by the way. And I'm supposed to believe that just because the dude gets a little closer to the guy that's literally murdering everybody, all of a sudden, these bullets that he uses are now penetrating his thick skull, titanium, whatever skin he's got. Okay, let's keep going.
What do you think?
You gotta tell me who keeps feeding you these.
Just left the head of a skezzed out chrome junkie. Cyber psychosis ain't no joke. Got more chips for you to slug.
Really? What?
Okay, so to anybody that didn't catch that, this man's was checking out basically snuff films, which are very illegal in the cyberpunk world. This is underground stuff, and this guy was getting off. Like, if you notice on his excitement, he's like, "Where do you find more of? Where do you find this stuff?" Man, this is extreme. He's looking at his face. He's all like excited and stuff. This was a snuff film of a man that went through cyber psychosis, which is a illness. He was getting off on the guy who literally got killed by policemen after being sick, like in the head mentally, after going through cyber psychosis, which is basically a body to brain deficiency. You basically jack yourself in with a bunch of like prosthetic arms, like those mantis blades, eyeballs like that can help you see through walls and stuff. And your brain can, and your body and brain can only take so much of it before you basically go insane from like having a neural overlaps, right? And it can happen to basically war veterans. It can happen to people who are weak to cybernetics and stuff like that. Not everybody has the same durability for cybernetics. And this man named David was literally watching some dude get snuffed out that was mentally ill and being excited about it. This is the protagonist of the show. And before you even ask what's happening to this next scene, I'm gonna skip over it. It shows a bunch of sex. It's just it's basically hentai, softcore hentai. And the thing he was watching it on was a virtual machine type of thing, where you insert BDs. Those are called brain dances, right? A brain dance, commonly abbreviated as BD, allows viewer to relive someone else's memory with all the senses, including emotions. And it says illicit BD recordings, also called extreme brain dances (XBDs), feature gruesome and bizarre scenes including violence, torture, and even rape and murder. Your protagonist of this show is getting off on illegal, right? Illicit brain dances that he got from God knows where. Well, the show, as it goes on, it'll show you where. But this man gets off on this and asks for more. Don't worry, folks. It gets better.
Cycle suspended. Insufficient funds.
Jeez, God, Mom.
A wreath update for class.
Got Doc to handle it.
Don't go cutting corners, Dee.
Mom, seriously, just feed the washer, alright? Yeah, okay. Uniform's soaked.
Okay, this part really agitates me. David spent all night basically watching his dumb BDs, right? Until it was morning. Mom came over, right? He's literally about to go to school, and he decides to do his laundry in the morning, right before school. Okay, why didn't you do that last night, David? Secondly, my guy, if you did it last night, you would have known that the washing machine wasn't paid for, right? You put your clothes inside the shower, or find a little like net to hang, and you hang your clothes on the net inside the shower. You let them dry. That would have been a solution. Instead, what did you do? You just waited for Mom to show up and you complain. Well, after watching your BDs, bro, I can't stand this guy. I can't. Ugh.
A military-grade implant was found missing from the body of Lieutenant Colonel James Norris, shot dead by MaxTag last
Mom,
night. The NCAA
you're on TV! Nova!
Not Nova, David. A bloodbath.
Okay, I don't know if you guys caught that, but that was literally the same BD, XBD, excuse me, he was watching just that night, the night before. And his reaction to this is, "Oh my God, Mom, you're on TV." The back of her head, David. The back of her head is on TV. She is not being interviewed. They're not like talking to her, asking what happened. She's just being, the back of her head is shown while she's putting a dead body into an ambulance, and clearly she shows remorse for the man. She's like, she's very hurt. She has sympathy. She is clearly acting like a regular human being, like, "Oh my God, this is awful." David's reaction, on the other hand, is, "Oh wow, Mom, you're on TV." This isn't the first time this has happened, because this is his mother's job, is to be an EMT, which she's an amazing person for doing that, by the way. But what the fuck?
Go on, off to school.
Bye.
I'm so befuddled on what's going on in this picture right here, right? You're telling me these people piled up trash on top of a stairway to be able to get to and from work, right? They just piled up trash on this stairway. And clearly I'm seeing two gangsters, basically, I don't know if they're like getting money, basically earning money for guarding the stairway, right? Now, let me help you understand why I find this ridiculous. They're not the only people who are living in this like mega apartment complex, right? I'm sure there are other gangsters that live in this area, right? Who would welcome the beef to be like, "Okay, first of all, you can't like guard a stairway because I'm sick and tired of jumping down into a trash can." Like, secondly, why? Like, there's so many like situations where it's like, okay, the cops could get called and be like, "Yo, you can't do this. This is ridiculous." Literally, the whole like hotel could be like, "Oh yeah, we're not gonna put up with this crap. This is so dumb." Another reason is like, between all the multitude of gangs, and if they do like start to mingle and coexist within that one apartment complex, which is more than likely to happen, right? Do you really think you could get away with some stuff like this? Like, I'm gonna guard a stairway with trash bags. Even if they do pay, what do they get out of it, right? Your second opportunity is to jump into way down into a whole bunch of trash on a bunch of trash bags. Dude, it's trash. You have no idea what's in it. You could get cut up. You could get literally like diseases. The bags will rip open. They're not that safe. Like, what is this ridiculousness? Now, I'm aware that there are some ways that people use bags from like a different height, maybe to get a softer landing, but those things aren't filled with trash. What, bro? They could be throwing away knives, glass, broken, other stuff. Like, what is this ridiculousness? And if I do believe so myself, there is literally an elevator right next to David. Because people wouldn't stand for it. Instead of using the elevator like a regular human being, this man decides to, I'm just gonna jump onto the next floor. Like, I'm all the way to the ground floor. I'm gonna jump into a bunch of trash. He pretends to be a grown up, but isn't. In this scene, it doesn't show too much explicit stuff, but I'm gonna tell you exactly what's going on. Those two guys sitting on that little pillar way or something, right? I'm not sure what it's called. The dude with his toes all out and stuff like that, and the guy with like a baby diaper. Yeah, they're masturbating. They're jerking off in public. And you have these other guys and people who are just sitting right next to them like, "Oh, this is normal." Bro, I've seen videos from New York. I've seen videos from California, right? I've seen like where this stuff actually happens. Nobody does that. Like, no sane person is gonna sit right next to these people and be like, "Oh yeah, no, this is fine. Please bust a nut right next to me," right? And not only that, right? Is there no citation? Because you would think this happens once during this whole like series. No, my guy, this keeps on happening. They have a fascination with just sex and busting nuts from masturbating. Like, it is very explicit in this show, and I'm just wondering, like, why? Just why? literally just walked right next to the crime scene where the dude that he was watching on the snuff film, and he's smiling about it now. If you were under any sort of like, no man, he was doing something totally different, he was playing video, it had nothing to do with it, right? My man's literally goes right next to the crime scene where the dude got snuffed out, who was psychotically, he was psychotically damaged. He was going through a traumatic experience, right? And got snuffed out. This man doesn't even know him, walks by this guy. Like, he has no beef with the dude. Walks by the crime scene of the dude that died, right? And not only that, multiple cops got killed. Walks by, looks at it, and starts smiling. This is your hero. This is who everybody's crying about on YouTube right now. This is who everybody's posting like, oh my god, it's so sad. Can you believe what happened? This is who you're talking about? This is who I'm supposed to be feeling sorry for? Are you kidding me?
You are not in compliance with the Academy's dress code.
Yeah, real sorry about that. Afraid my uniform's still at the cleaners.
Spare uniform?
Yeah, spare's there too.
Submit a uniform exception form after class. Now let us begin today's lesson.
See what I mean by whining? Like, I wish I was making this up. I really do. I really wish the show was not as bad as I thought it was. But oh my lord, like I had to wear uniform back when I was in first grade. I was taught in a different country, right? And we had to wear uniforms. And I remember like my stuff would get dirty or something, right? And I'd literally get a worse punishment than this boy. In fact, it seems like they were very understanding. They're like, hey, David, you didn't wear your uniform to school. What happened? And he just gets an attitude like, oh, it's at the cleaners. Bro, why don't you just be honest? Like, my washing machine, like, we had an issue paying the bill for the washing machine. I'm sorry. And instead of that, he just shows up and says, it's at the cleaners. So is my other one. Like, bro, what's with the attitude? Why? Especially to your teacher. Like, my guy, what is this? Like, who are you trying to show off for? Nobody's impressed.
For meditation.
Counting on you, Doc.
Seriously?
Okay, I sympathize with David on this part, which is insane. I can't believe I'm saying it. Like, yeah, it sucks like everybody's talking crap on him. But I want you to remember this moment. Especially if you watch the first episode, I want you to remember this moment. Because there are key things that his classmates say about him that explain the whole situation on why they feel and they say what they say about him, right? And in fact, this whole situation right here was all his fault. I'm not going to go into it right now. I'm going to go into it a little bit later. But I'm going to reveal what happens.
I'm so sorry for the inconvenience my son has caused, and I will pay for the repairs.
Mr. Martinez modified his headset with back alley software to avoid paying for the licensed update.
It's not a problem, really. We can afford it.
Remember that last part where David said, I will, Mom. I will get the update. Blah, blah, blah. I will do it. And he was so adamant and talking like, oh, I know exactly what I'm talking about, Mom. I'm going to do it. Stop nagging me, right? He didn't do it. He didn't get the update. Instead, I believe this guy got the money from his mother, right? I believe he went to the back alley dealer where he gets those XBDs from and got a jank update, right? Because it did work, right? But some other stuff happened. So not only that, this is what happened. I bet you he also used his money that was given to him by his mother to buy illegal, illicit XBDs of people killing themselves or other worse things, because XBDs are illicit brain dances that include porn, that include rape, that include murder, kidnapping, anything. When you play Cyberpunk 2077, you'll understand, like, it goes hard. Like, these XBDs, they are dark, dude. You're talking about it's not just adults, it's kids. Yes, kids. Kids are also involved. And in fact, there's storylines in Cyberpunk 2077 where people will sell child snuff films. So this is what David is spending his allowance on, given to him by his mother. Also, he does other shady stuff, but let's just keep watching.
David is not a good fit with his classmates. He could benefit from a change in environment.
No, wait, please. I mean, he has to stay here. He deserves his education as much as every other child in this school.
So the principal rightly wants to not just kick him out, but he still like wants David to have an education. He just says, "Hey, we might want to relocate him to a different area where he'll click with some other students, because clearly he's not feeling what's going on over here at this academy." And instead of this sniveling, snot-nosed kid, right, this little, his mother begs for him. She begs for him to get, for the principal to basically give him an education. And this boy does not feel humble whatsoever. Bro, okay, I got in trouble at school one time, right? Where I almost had a lawsuit on, right? And I got my mother involved and all this other stuff. And I almost wept in front of the principal and the police officer about the situation, right? They knew me. They knew who I was. They're like, he's never been in trouble. He's never done anything wrong. You know, this is all a surprise to us. And I told him, I was like, it was all an accident. I'm sorry. Like the stuff that happened, I'll never do it again. I just, just stuff happened. And they understood, right? But I begged. Like, I felt awful. My mother had to call off a day from work just so she could go figure my shit out while also struggling at work with her shit. And I already understood that. I was at the age of like 15 when that happened. I already understood. I was like, I barely get to see my mom. She busts her ass at work. I helped her out on the job here and there. I know exactly what she went through. So does David. This is exactly what I mean. Like, I know exactly where David's at. It's like watching a mirror, but it's like watching myself make all the wrong choices, and it makes me so mad watching this dude. He's just like, I don't care. I'm just gonna sit here and mope about it. Like, bro, how do people relate? Who is relating to you, bro?
Didn't I tell you to get the upgrade?
Doc's damn fault.
It'll cost us 10 times more.
Sorry.
Don't do it in the first place.
Didn't have the eddies when I asked.
Was waiting for payday.
I drop out. Find some work. You got no idea I stand out compared to all of them.
But that's not it, David, is it? That's not it, though, is it? It's a lot more deep than that, isn't it, David? Don't worry. You guys will see exactly what I mean when I say he's moping around, and also about the situation he caused. He causes everything in his life to go to crap. Every single thing is literally his own fault.
You'll never accept me. Don't want to be one anyway.
What have I been busting my ass for then, huh? I want to give you a fighting chance in this city.
I'm sorry.
You have to work hard and rise through the ranks. My son at Arasaka Tower, top floor. I can just see it.
Alright. So I'm not gonna hit too hard on David, but like his writing really freaking kills me. But this part tore me up. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, this was probably one of my favorite parts of the series, simply because like I'm touched by the lengths this mom is willing to go for her child. I am touched, especially like relating with the lifestyle that they're living. Like I've lived it. I know exactly what they're going through, right? And hearing this is like a speech my mom gave me too at one point in my life. And it's not so much about Arasaka Tower, but just in general, like we were outcasts to this, like to America and whatnot, right? Like nobody understood us, nobody liked us, whatever. Like, but my mom was like, they talk stuff about me too. So what? Prove them wrong, And I dig what she's saying here.
Easier said than done.
Who wrote this part, because it makes no sense. in a general situation where people are shooting, especially through you, like through your car, your general idea is probably like stop, because you notice they're not aiming at you. They especially like have a second, to react. Like, mom, they're not shooting us, and they're following that car over there. Like you understand the situation, but she still keeps going. I'm very confused. I'm like, why don't you just like slowly stop, and pull over, like slow down, and pull your car over to the side, and call the cops or something, right? Instead, they just keep going, like some sort of NPC in the highway in the game. Like what?
Leave them for the city meat wagons.
Copy that.
Mom! Mama!
Surgery was a success. Need her to stay a few more nights. Visitation ain't part of your package. Your mom's things, got 3 days.
Kind of sucks. His mom got into an accident and she's now hospitalized. Feels bad, right? But where did he take her? Is this a back alley like medic or some junk? Dude, she was an EMT. Are you telling me they didn't provide any sort of coverage for her, like just off her work? And another thing, that dude, he didn't have a shirt on. Now here's why I kind of take notice of that, right? Because in Cyberpunk the game, you have scavs, right? Generally they look like these two, more or less, right? You go into and you fight like these pseudo doctor people, right? With these weird, masks, right? Here's the crazy part. They, most of all, don't wear shirts. And also have this medic top going on. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those hairnets, right? So what I'm getting at is this. Did this man just take his mother to a body harvester unknowingly? Just like to some bootleg doctor? And just let her stay there? I find some sus stuff is going on there, guys. Let's keep watching.
Still gotta cover rent. Huh? Doc, hey, you get the still I sent? Listen, don't think I've forgotten I owe you a kick in the nuts for that shoddy bootleg. But check this.
And there it is. And here it is, my friends. Did you hear that? David was selling XBDs, or trying to promote XBDs at his school. That means he was trying to promote that during that whole like meditation period, right? That you notice that part where he puts on the goggles and the whole classroom short circuited. He was trying to promote illicit brain dances, illegal brain dances to his classroom. I'm talking about he was trying to promote snuff films, rape possibly, other things, including like horrible situations, right? He was trying to promote that in school. This is your hero. This is the guy who you're talking about. I'm crying. I feel so bad for. This man who is selling illegal stuff to his class, or trying to promote illegal stuff to his classmates. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, bro? Not only that, he's trying to get a price for that hardware off the same guy who he's trying to work for, who deals in illegal stuff. Bro, are you dumb? Like, are you actually dumb? Like, who goes to a car dealer and be like, hey man, what do you think this car is worth? Right? Like, you just got a car, you're trying to sell it because, well, not just got a car, you've been driving a car, you're trying to sell it to this car dealer, and who goes to a car dealer and be like, what do you think it's worth, right? You didn't have it, like, looked at, you didn't have it exactly, just like, what do you think it's worth? Yeah, oh, they're gonna definitely tell you the price of, like, oh, it's 10K, dude, absolutely, 10K car. No, bro, they're gonna tell you, nah, it's probably worth 2K, it's probably worth 200, whatever. Of course they're gonna give you a stupid price, David. Oh my god, how dumb can you be? Like, dude, I want to root for this kid, right? Because I've been in this situation. Like, not doing illegal stuff like that, but I've been poor. I've been having, I had a single mother. I know exactly what he's going through. But this boy is so dumb. Everything he does is, and he whines. and he does dumb things, and he's like, well, why doesn't nobody like me? Maybe, David, maybe because you do stupid stuff to get yourself in trouble. Have you ever thought about that? Maybe because the things you do just don't make any sense to anybody around you. Let's keep going.
You probably figure I give you a hard time because you're poor. There's no rule that says a street kid can't make it at the academy, provided they pay their way. It's something else entirely. Now what?
Look, Joom, haven't understood a single thing coming out of your mouth.
That right there!
And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what I mean, right? Or rather, what I meant from before. Like, you see his classmates, they don't care if he's poor. He even said himself, he's like, dude, I don't care if you're poor, but it's just something else about you that I don't like. And Dave is like, dude, I'm not interested in whatever, you got going on right there. And it's like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. He's talking about how David just doesn't give a rat's ass about anybody else but himself. He doesn't care about the situation around him. The dude, like, it's insane that I'm actually, like, siding with this guy with the blue hair, right? I don't even like him like that, bro. Like, he says some, like, mad stuff about his mom, but he's honestly, like, right about his whole situation. He's like, dude, you don't appreciate what you have. You don't give a rat's ass about anybody but yourself. And you're only looking to further your own goals. Like, we're all here in class to learn, but you're over here, like, screwing up our lives. Like, why are you doing this, dude? And David doesn't care. And he's like, that right there is exactly what I mean. I can't believe it. I'm sympathizing with this guy. I don't even like him, bro. Like, he says some mean stuff, like, just over the top things, right? But it sucks because I have, like, it's like they purposely did this. It's like they purposely wrote a guy who made sense and just he's driving, like, he's basically going 45 down to 45 and then just kicks it into 80 because then he's like talks shit about his mom. And I'm like, he went from being like, oh no, you make sense to it, bro. You're going a little over the top there. Like, oh my god, this show, bro, this show.
Nothing like the Strong Arms 400 to bring out the best in your Kung Fu chipware.
Okay, so a couple of things there. This was probably one of my favorite moments of all time, just of how stupid it was. David just stands there while this dude is throwing down. Instead of moving back away from the punches, he just stands there and then proceeds to get rocked. Like, like, dude is so ready to throw down, and all of a sudden he's just like, I don't know, what do I do? What do I do? I don't know. And then just gets destroyed. Like, this scene reminds me so hard from that moment from Kung Pao, Enter the Fist, where the guy's like, should I choose option A or option B? Right? And all this followed by this man being like he's what do you say, promoting a chip. Like, nothing does well like the Cyber Enhancement 2000. Kick ass with your fists. Yeah. Like, what is going on, bro? But it was awesome. Totally worth it. I got to see David get his ass whooped finally. He definitely deserved that. 100%. I'm telling you, I hate that I have to side with this blue-haired jackass. I don't even like him like that. But this was hilarious. Oh my god. Like, dude, as much as I don't like you, thanks for beating the hell out of this kid. He needed an ass whooping.
But then her vitals began to nosedive really out of nowhere.
So, remember that part where I said I think he's a scav? Isn't it strange? He's like, what were the red flags? Oh, I don't know. Like, dude doesn't wear his shirt in a medical office, right? Kind of sus. A lot of the scavs basically rocking that same uniform, well known throughout the city, by the way. Kind of strange that he didn't pick up on that. And isn't it a coincidence? Like, he said what? Oh, 3 days, she'll be fine within 3 days, right? Provided some, you could pay for it, whatever, right? David's like, oh, okay, cool, right? 3 days, my guy. Literally died the next day. And in between the situation, he was already asking him if he wants to pay an insurance package or some sort of premium, right? Does that not, like, signal, like, stupid red flags? Oh, you can't see your mother. You didn't pay for the ability to see your mother on the bed. Like, bro, who wrote this? Who wrote this, my guy? Like, who wrote this? This kid is dumber than a log in the middle of sticks. You know, in the middle of a field of sticks. You know what I'm saying? He's just dumb. He's so dumb, bro.
In your utilities contract, you must pay a penalty of €500 in addition to any past due.
And here we are again, right, David? Here we are again. Your mom, the place where your mom was caught on camera on the news, as you said, right? After you watched the same BD where the dude got off, right? Here we are. I bet you it hits differently, huh? I bet you it hits differently. See, this is what I'm talking about. And you would think, like, this is the point where he changes his attitude towards things, right? Like, if it was a regular person, like if this was actually a human being, you would think to yourself, man, I don't like gangs. You know, maybe he could become a hero for Night City. Maybe he could do something right. You know, maybe he could turn his life around or get out of the city completely and find another way to live and maybe raise a family or something. You know, just stop watching snuff films and doing illegal illicit stuff. Like, just find a way to survive, right? Find a way to live. Actually, no, nope. Instead, he goes to be a crime lord or whatever the hell you call it. I don't even know if he becomes a crime lord. Honestly, I don't know if you call what he does by the end of this show a like crime lord. He's more of a mercenary or something. But I find it kind of strange that this is like your mom and yourself get put into a situation where there was a shootout. Both of them, you know, both of you got into an accident. She died, you know, and your first instinct is like, I'm gonna be a criminal. Okay.
Implant I showed you said you'd take it off me for 10K. 6 now? Said 10 yesterday, Chu. Oh yeah? Well, fuck you too.
All right, and so what do we have here? David calls back the guy he was trying to sell the stuff to, right? The illegal stuff, mind you, by the way. He didn't agree with the price before at 10K. That was already illegal, right? Meaning, like, you can't just go sell this anywhere. You need a back store market. And now he's upset that he dropped the price. Because you know what happened? The dude understands that, David, your mom's dead. You can't pay rent. You're hurting for money. I'm in a great position. I basically work. I have my money. I have a job. I have all this. You need the money. And I don't need you, David. I don't need you. So what am I going to do? I'm going to drop the price to 6K. How are you surprised? He's not your friend, dude. He's a guy who sells you, or doesn't even sell you. Or does he? No, he sells you illegal stuff. Yeah, he sold you an illegal XBD earlier on so that you could push this stuff to your classmates. You think he's your friend? Like he's gonna care? Oh, your mom died? Welcome to fucking reality, David. Welcome to the reality. But what does this kid do? He still whines. He's like, oh, what? And here's my question, right? That whole time living in that flat, you didn't make any friends. That whole time living in that flat, you don't know nobody. You don't know anybody. You don't have any family. You don't have any uncle, nieces, nephews, grandmas, grandpas, whatever. You don't have nothing. Nobody to be like, hey, listen, mom's just died. Can I get, some help? Nobody. Like, bro, if it was me, I'd be calling my grandma or something. Just be like, yo, listen, mom just died. It'd be a little bit more formal, but I'm just getting to the gist of it. Mom just died. I need somewhere to crash and like get my emotions together. Can I, come over? Granted, my grandma's on the other side of the country, so I'll just be fucking either walking there, boating there, flying there. I don't give a shit. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Or I find a way to basically get a job and try to stand on my own 2 feet. But this is what I'm saying. Like, this kid does not look for any opportunity. He's always looking for the easy way out every single time. And the show doesn't do it justice on making sense, right? He's just, it's like stupid. Because, and here's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not going to play this clip because it's heartbreaking and it's stupid. It's comically over the top. Katsu, the blue-head jackass, right, that I agree with, yes, I agree with, is calling him to rag on him about how he should leave school. Like, first of all, why would you even associate with your bully like that, bro? I'd be putting that guy on block. I was like, no, you're not calling me, period. Like, I don't need your drama. I don't need it. Instead, he picks up the phone like he's gonna be your friend. He just beat the shit out of you, threatening you to get out of the school. What are you doing, David? Who writes this, bro?
Christ, the hell, who is that? Ah, David, hey. That the big bad Sandy?
This fused here. High time I chrome the fuck up.
And finally, we get to the last part. This is Doc. This is the guy who was just a while ago watching porn and busting a nut on his nut machine, whatever, and selling XBDs to David here. And David, no money mind you, is telling Doc to put this piece of hardware, right? Doesn't know if it's gonna be a risk or not. He's just like, put it in me, Doc. Like, no issue, right? And you know what happens? I'm gonna just go a little bit into the second episode. The doctor does it. Yep, the doctor just does it. By the way, background dealer, sells illicit XBDs, right? Does shady stuff, more or less, and he refuses apparently to use any sort of anesthetics, like no numbing whatsoever, on David throughout the whole show. Because you see more of this guy, by the way. He refuses to use any sort of numbing, and it's like this little fetish of torture porn for this show, I guess. I don't know. It's just so weird to me. It's like, I played the game, V gets his enhancement, no issue. Even I love Victor, by the way. God, I love Victor. He's such a cool dude. In the game, awesome dude. I always go see him as my mechanic, I guess. Whatever. But Victor uses anesthetics. He's like, hey man, yeah, we're gonna pop this right here and all good. And V remarks on it. He's like, yo man, I didn't even feel a thing. It was great, dog. And he's so professional about it, right? Also a background dude. Also works in the like toward kind of the background market. He's not, like in a clinic or anything. He's just in the back of the like alleyway. Also, like, and this granted, this guy has military grade stuff that is shown later on in the show. He has the chemicals, the like ability to, but you know what he does? He says, "All right, David, I'm just gonna put it in you on a whim." This show, bro. And this kid is so like, okay, cyberpsychosis can happen at after faulty like things happen, right? After faulty like parts, right? That's one of the possibilities for cyberpsychosis is having a faulty part malfunction and your brain not be able to speak with it properly, causing you to hallucinate or malfunction, and you basically go haywire on people and start murder spree, right? It doesn't have to be a murder spree, but most of the time it is. I love the cyberpsychosis in Cyberpunk 2077. That was honestly my favorite part of the game. The story, garbage. The side missions, I enjoyed. Like, oh my god, the side missions were great. The cyberpsychosis here, though, he's not worried about it. David's just like, put this in me. Granted, this is not gonna be the first fucking time, nor the last time that David's gonna be like, just put this in me, doc. This is good. Like, no research whatsoever. Doesn't do any sort of research. Just says, put it in me, dog. This kid is so dumb. Who wrote this, my guy? Who wrote this show, bro? Y'all gonna go into the game with a totally like, y'all gonna leave and be like, if you actually play the game or look into the lore, it's totally different. Like, none of this makes sense, bro. None of it. I played the game. I'd say worth $20, $20, $30 easily. Easily worth 20, 30 because of the mechanics. But this show makes no fucking sense. Like, they made this whole big deal about the since I'm basically ending off right here. They make a big deal about the send of a stem where I'm gonna call it bullet time because it's just tongue twister. I don't care. they make a big deal for this bullet time, right? And guess what? In the game, you can buy it in almost any store or pick it out from a chest. That's the beauty. You go to a mechanic, you be like, hey, or Ripper Dog. That's what they call him, Ripper Dog. You go, hey, can I get this installed, right? I don't, because there are other options or other ways to literally get bullet time. You don't have to use that, and also you could like kind of mix things up. Here, David's like, I can't believe you got it devastating. While throughout the show he gets geared up, they still make this big deal about, I can't believe you got this bullet time. Oh my god! And I love the end of the show. I love Adam Smasher when what he said to Dave is like, bro, it's a rudimentary like perk. That means you could literally get it from the store. Like it's literally on the sales. Like what the hell you mean, David? Like it's not a big deal. Even he makes fun of him. Like this is the script for the show, bro. Even they make fun of it. This show. I don't understand why people like it. But I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it here. If y'all want another video, tell me. But this is it. I personally don't want to do another review just simply because it's just like I hated watching it. Every second of watching this was horrible. Like, okay, not every second. There are a couple of parts where I was just like the music's great. They had some moments where, like, the cowboy dude, my favorite character, easily my favorite character. He just kind of chills everything out, and he's not like all these other psycho like idiots. And maybe the big bulky black dude with the blue eyes, like he's cool too. But apart from that, everybody else is kind of like, what are you doing, bro? Like, y'all are so fucking dumb. Okay. No, seriously. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sorry we're going to have to end it here. I'm going to miss y'all. Y'all have a good one. Bye.